Let's go to our breaking news at this hour. 10 people, including 8 school children, have been killed in a road accident on the N2 between oPhongolo and Itshelejuba in northern KwaZulu-Natal. Now, let's bring you more details on this particular story. And we speak now to Robert McKenzie, who is the media liaison for the KZN Emergency Medical Services. Robert, thank you so much for your time. A very harrowing, story to have to read this afternoon. Do we know what happened?
Good evening. From what I can understand from our paramedics at the scene, there was a crash involving a truck and a bakkie that had been transporting primary school children home after school earlier this afternoon. We know that at least 10 people have sustained fatal injuries in this crash, 8 of them being young school children and 2 adults. We also know that 1 child was transported to hospital in a critical condition.
Do we know where the driver is at this stage?
I'm not too sure of the exact details, but it's possible that the driver of the bakkie has sustained fatal injuries.
And really, one of the things that someone would want to know in an incident like this one is was one trying to overtake as they were crashing into one another? Is there any sort of detail that you're getting from those on the ground as to what may have happened here?
Well, our paramedics are still at the scene of the crash. The crash scene hasn't been cleared as yet. But at this stage, especially from an EMS perspective, no idea of possibly what the circumstances were. Remembering it is a legal matter as well to comment on the exact on the circumstances. So that's a matter that the EMS we normally leave up to the South African Police Services to comment on, due to the legal ramifications.
Fair. And Robert, are there any family members now at the scene? Do you know what are your members telling you now in regards to that? I'm myself not on scene, so I don't have an exact picture. But if I had to apply my mind and think, it's probably quite a close-knit community, children from the community. So I can imagine that, especially by this time, there would have been family members arriving on scene to try to find out what is exactly happening. All right, a very difficult story, Robert, and as you say, we'll also, reach out to the SABC to be able to also get a sense from their vantage point as to what happened here. But do appreciate that update. Thank you so much for your time. That is Robert McKenzie there with the EMS in KwaZulu-Natal. And this is a very, very disturbing accident. 8 children, these are school children, are among those who died. 10 people in total, and this is a road accident that took place on the N2 between oPhongolo and Itshelejuba in northern KwaZulu-Natal. We'll continue to monitor developments around this particular story.